Hello, and welcome to Victory Point Gaming for another Ark Nova strategy video. In this one, we're going to be talking about the maps in Ark Nova. We have 10 maps in the base game. We have Map A, Map 0, and then Maps 1 through 8. Map A and Map 0 are considered to be maps that you play when you want a fast game or if you're a beginner, and Maps 1 through 8 are the normal competitive maps. Now, in this, I'm going to talk about the relative strengths of the maps, but I will also look at the individual strengths, as in most competitive play, on Board Game Arena at least, you're going to have the same map as the opponents. I will also discuss common starting areas on each map. In Map A, you are going to be starting over here because there's already stuff on the board. There's a size 3 in the kiosk there. And it's the only map in which you actually have a defined place to start. Map A and Map 0 have very strong abilities. You're going to get 2 conservation points for doing the third worker, for doing the fourth handshake, or doing the third university, which is unusual. Ordinarily, you're going to have 3 conservation points spread out amongst all of those, but on Map A and Map 0, you get 6 spread out amongst all those. So, very strong. You'll also have a conservation point as an income, potentially, on those 2 maps. And you're also going to get 2 hats as a placement bonus twice on both those maps. So they are very strong maps. We won't talk a huge amount about those, but suffice it to say they're very good in general, and great to give to a new player or if you just want to have a super fast game. Alright, let's investigate a bit the maps in the game. Map number 1, Observation Tower. Here we're going to be talking about the 3 shields and where they're spread out. We have 2 on the fourth handshake and 1 on the third university, nothing on the last worker. Now, I don't tend to upgrade association, so and when I do, I rarely get 4 handshakes. So for me, that's a little bit sad. This map in general is generally considered to be a bit weak, and I would agree with that. The map power, where you get appeal if you flip over standard enclosures next to this thing, is okay, but it requires a lot of effort to fully take advantage of. And I would say that the map layout of Water and Rock is not great. Because you have to try and reserve these areas around here, there is limited spaces where you can put an aviary or a reptile house next to the rock and water, which is what you want to do ordinarily, because ideally you want your aviary / reptile houses to be next to rock and water, if you didn't already know that. Here you can have something like this that works, but I mean, it's okay. To be fair, it's okay, but it could be better. There are ones which are better than this. And you sometimes do want to be doing aviary or reptile house on this map because, as I say, you want to be flipping these multiple times. So you want to be using release projects or special enclosures to try and flip multiple times. So it is kind of important to be getting those things down. But overall, it's kind of an underpowered map. Oh, what I wanted to do is talk about starting points on each map too. So a lot of the time, this reputation bonus, or the reputation bonus on any map, is where you want to start. The reason is because if you get 1 hat here, and then 1 here, and then 2 here, that's going to give you 4, which is going to take you to this, and let you get your upgrade. And that is what a lot of players tend to rush. So on this map, you're either going to be taking the hat, or you're going to be trying to take advantage of this observation tower early. That's the ordinary way to go. Okay, map 2, we have the outdoor areas. Again, 3 shields. Here it's 1 and 2. There is 1 reputation, which is here. We have noteworthy bonuses, sponsor for money 1 time here. And also handshake here. Now, this and this are the best 2, and they are close together, which is nice. The map ability is pretty decent, allows you to put standard enclosures around here and have them be size 2 bigger. It's very nice if you're doing that large animal strategy. Ordinarily, you'd be starting over here and taking that and going around here. But you might also potentially, if you want to immediately do a size 4 creature next to 2 waters or 1 water, you could go there. One thing to note is if you want to build a big enclosure using this ability that needs rock, it has to be like this for a size 4, or like this for a size 5, or like this for a size 5. If you do what I've done before and built a kiosk here, well, rip. You're never going to get a special enclosure here next to rock, so just be careful with that one. Overall, the water/rock layout is fine on this one, perfectly okay. And I've got to say that the third shield being on the university suits my playstyle. I do like that. Oh, sorry, the 2 conservation points being on the third uni suits me. Alright, so map 3. We are on the Silver Lake. Now, the Silver Lake, what can I say? By far, the best map in the base game for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is we have 2 reputation as a map bonus, 1 here and 1 here, and very easy to get both. They're not spread out or anything. Well, they're a bit spread out, but not super far. And secondly, determination. This map bonus is the best thing. It's the best one in the game. It's incredibly strong. The reason is that people tend to leave this until the last turn of the game, when they're on maybe 60, 70 points, and they will do an association action, they'll take a conservation project, they'll do the determination bonus, and then they'll play another association project, or a bunch of sponsors, or they're going to play 2 creatures, and it's very easy to do a big support on a project, and then play 2 massive creatures, and you can just score 30, 40, 50 points in one go. This thing's particularly strong at the end of the game because points actions are worth more points on average at the end of the game. So it's very, very good. It's also an extremely forgiving map with a map ability to place stuff around here and get extra money, and it's really helpful if you want the option to kind of stall. If your opponent has run out of money, they have 1 or 0 money, and you just want to stall out a bit, you can just build around the lake. It's not necessarily a good idea, but if you really want to, you can stall. It gives you that option, which is nice. I like the water rock layout on this one. You're ordinarily going to be starting with this bonus, or what you can sometimes do, which I've seen people do, is, for example, just build over this and then put, I don't know, a sponsor like a cable car down like that. Really helpful to do if you want to play down an important sponsor early, or if you just have a bunch of expensive sponsors in your hand, especially if you have a 6-cost sponsor in your hand and there's no otherwise easy way to play it. You can get it played like that for 6 money, and on Silver Lake map 6 money is almost nothing, so it's really good. It's got a great water rock layout, as I said. It's just an S tier map. It's very, very good. Alright, map 4. The Commercial Harbour. Here we have 3 shields, 1 reputation over here, and ×2 on the map there. This is a map that I don't love. I don't really like it that much. I don't like to sell my cards for 3 money. It feels bad to sell cards for money, and if you are going to sell cards for money, then Sunbathing gives 4 money per card, and this thing gives 3 money per card. It is, however, one of the few ways to consistently earn money on every turn. Note that you have to use the ability on your turn and not during a break. It's not allowed. The uni and the ×2 bonus here are noteworthy, but the ×2 is hard to use well. What I like to do is take the 2 size 2s as a income and then cover this up during a break. Give me the whole of the next round to figure out how to use my ×2. The water rock layout is fine on this one. It's just I find that this thing is kind of... It's good, but it's a bit underpowered, I guess. And I just don't like to sell my cards, really. I did have something else to say about that. Oh yeah, that's it. Because this thing allows you to sell cards. It's good. It means that the hand size becomes a little bit more important. I mean, it's potentially good. It's not good, but it kind of clashes with other things. Suppose you want to do a whole pouching strategy. Well, you can do one or the other, right? Like, it doesn't really... You can't be selling cards and pouching them. There's just not enough cards to do it. So, there's other reasons why it's not the best. Another thing that's a bit annoying is in the BGA implementation, once you've claimed this ability, you have to confirm your end turn every turn and click here, and also during the break for some reason, which is a bit annoying. Alright, map 5. So, map 5 is the Park Restaurant. You have 3 shields on this one, but none of them are on the uni, so sad. You have 1 reputation, which is over here, which is your ordinary starting spot. Sometimes you can start just here or whatever, but ordinarily you're just trying to fill this as soon as possible. You can get to the Aviary or the Reptile House as a placement bonus 1 time, and you don't need upgraded build for that, and you can sponsor once for money. It is a decent map due to the income bonus provided by the map ability. I like the free special enclosure, but it can be a trap to take it too early. I often think, oh my gosh, that's so great, and I get excited, and then I just regret it because I haven't taken something else that I needed. It's fine, but don't take it too early is my advice. Alright, the water rock is perfectly fine on this map, plenty of places for special enclosures. And number 6, the Research Institute is, again, 3 shields, again, 0 on the uni. You have 1 rep, which is over here. You have Clever 2 as a potential income, and University on the map. This map power, to be able to ignore an animal requirement, is strong. You can use that to ignore the animal's 2 requirements. The university is really good, but bear in mind that the 3rd uni is worth nothing on this map. So I always try to rush this bonus, but... Well, I don't always rush the bonus, but when I do, I try to get one of these 2 universities with it. The water rock layout is fine on this one. And it's forgivable to start over here as well if you really want to take advantage of this. But usually people start here and go up to here. That's normally what you see happening. Cream Parlors is the next map. It is a strong map, I would say. You have 3 shields here and here. 2 reputation, which is noteworthy. Only Silver Lake has 2 reputation on the remainder of the map, excluding these maps. And you have Pouch 2 as a potential income and Sponsor for money on the map over here. Now, overall, as I say, a strong map and perhaps the fastest in the game. The map ability is very, very strong, and Pouch 2 as an income is extremely strong also if you have the cards to support it. Note that you must discard down to your hand size before pouching, so getting the hand size university is very important if pouching is your plan. The 2 reputation on the map actually comes into play less often than you would think, but in a 3 or 4 player game, or a game in which you are unlucky getting these universities, it could be vital. I would say that the water/rock layout on this map is a bit awkward, really, a bit bad. It's sure there's places where you can play things, but kind of you have all of the water over here and all of the rock over here, and it's easy to get yourself locked out. But all in all, it's a map that I do like. Map 8, the final map, is Hollywood Hills. Now, anyone who knows my stream knows how I feel about Hollywood Hills. We have the 3 shields spread out evenly, 1 reputation over here, which is normally where you start, and a handshake 1 time, where is it, over here. Now, personally, I don't like Hollywood Hills, but it's not because it's a bad map per se. My issue with it is that it has a tendency to warp the game. When Hollywood Hills is in play, players have a tendency to play more sponsors on average, and that affects the break timing. For that reason, you have to play particularly defensively, because otherwise you can get trapped in a never-ending round. So let's suppose you have run out of money and run out of workers. and you're in a situation where you're kind of hoping the round's going to end, when your opponents are not breaking, they just keep playing sponsors, playing sponsors, playing sponsors. You have to be aware of this, and it's easy to get trapped. It's happened to me, and it's horrible. So bear that in mind. If Hollywood Hills is in play, you've got to watch out for never-ending rounds and have a way out, have a way to break. If you need the round to end, you need to be in a position where you can do it yourself, or at least influence it yourself. The water rock layout is okay on this one, no issues. And as I say, you would ordinarily start. Most players rush covering these bonuses, fairly standard. Alright, that is about everything to say on maps. There are places where this varies. You are sometimes going to take the sponsor bonus early. Ordinarily, people tend to rush the very strong map bonuses early. Hollywood Hills, people would rush to cover that. People always rush to cover all of these kiosks because it's incredibly strong. For this one, linking this is, you might want to do that early if you've got something good to do with that. With this one, people rush to cover this thing. With this one, this is fine. It's to take it or leave it one, depending on if you want to do it. The Silver Lake, it's neither here nor there, it's just generally good. Over here, you have the ability from the start, so you don't need to rush to do it. And this is kind of, like I said, a bit on the weak side. What else can we say about general placements? Like I said before, you want to have your aviaries and reptile houses next to rock and water ideally, because the requirements of those creatures are going to still exist even if they're in the aviary. The last thing that I'll add is that I've got a couple of preferred ways to lay out in a vacuum, like my kiosks and things. If I have a kiosk like this, I will sometimes try to do a neat little thing where I've got a size 2, then bad drawing, another kiosk, and then a size 2 kiosk, and like that. So you can have a nice little combo like that, where you can have kiosk, 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 and size 2s in the middle. That works well for a small animal strategy. Another thing you could potentially do is have a size 2, and then a kiosk like this. So both kiosks are benefiting from both size 2s. That's kind of neat. Another consideration is if you have a side entrance. Now, if you're not aware of side entrance, it's a card that lets you have, it's like basically a big kiosk, but you can put kiosks next to it. Each thing next to the side entrance gives you 2 income. So what you can do, and what I sometimes try to do, is put a kiosk on either end of it, and then, I don't know, pavilion. It doesn't have to be a pavilion, but anything basically, something. Kind of a nice way to do the side entrance. You would very rarely put 3 pavilions next to it, but you get the general idea. Or you could put a kiosk here, whatever really. Ordinarily, you're not going to have a big, long, straight bit like this, but that's just giving you the general idea. Alright, so, yeah, that's just a couple of my thoughts on mappage. Things that you can do and things to consider when building out the maps, the way that they work, the different bonuses that are important. And I might add to this in another video at some point, but that's my initial thoughts on my considerations when choosing maps, my considerations when playing them, and what's good and bad about each. Alright, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you found that interesting and informative, and leave any comments that you have. If you haven't already subscribed on YouTube, please do, and I'll see you for the next one. Thanks, and goodbye.